You just can't beat a Colorado sunrise. Good morning. It's a few minutes after first light, opening morning on archery season. Got a buck tag, so we'll see what it brings. It was too dark to start filming when I headed out. I headed out before first light, so thanks for coming along, and we'll see if we get a buck this year. I'm kind of spending this first morning scouting around a little bit. I've been watching several different bucks that we've got on the ranch. Didn't really get a chance to do all the scouting that I wanted to this year. Kind of used spray and thistle as an opportunity to kind of figure out where the bucks are. There's one buck that I've been watching now for probably at least 3 months. When he first came into velvet, he was already pretty big, and started growing, and he's turned into an absolute monster. I haven't seen him in about 2 weeks, so we'll see what happens, but just kind of trying to get a feel for if the bucks are really moving in the morning early, or they're kind of moving in the afternoon, evening. So got into a bachelor group of elk. It was 3 spikes and a 5x5 bull, but that was over on the west side. No cows or anything like that. While I'm hunting archery, my wife has a cow tag for private land only. It's a 5-month-long tag, so it's been pretty warm. Won't take her out in the evenings quite yet, just because it's so hot lately. Unless we get a really good cold spell, she'll end up probably filling her tag later on in this season, just to make sure it's cooler, in case we got to hang the cow overnight or anything like that. So while slowly putting around, I did locate way down in that valley down there, right underneath the power lines. There is a doe, but no bucks yet this morning. Just like I said, just using this morning as a opportunity to glass and see what I can find. Just another group of does. That closest one's probably only about 40 yards, so we'll keep trying. Got up in a tree. First time actually climbing with everything, to include camera equipment. That was an adventure that took about 20 minutes longer than I expected. But I've got everything set up now. I've got the good camera setup. It's about 1:30 right now. I'll give this a little while. It's been hot today. Luckily we had some overcast now, so it's starting to cool down. The wind has kind of been swirling, so we'll have a nice long set. I know this is where that big buck's been coming through. So he has at least 2 other bucks with him every time he's been seen. A nice 4x4 and a 4-quart. So hopefully we see him today. It's still opening day though. Coming to the realization that self-filming is incredibly difficult. Mason would normally be out here with me, but he's been playing soccer and he may have a sprained, broken toe in his foot, so walking around for him is not really a good idea for the amount that I walk around during our trade season. It's 3:11. I am seriously thinking that I got up here way too early. Well, I've given this spot about 3 hours. Some turkeys, a squirrel, but no luck. So we'll get down and see if we can get into a spot and start type situation. Well, it's day 2. My morning hunt got sidetracked, so it's 2 o'clock now. Happened very fast this morning. I went out before sunrise and saw a very, very big herd of elk, and my wife has a private land cow tag, so I drove back to the house and got her scooped up and got her on a cow this morning. It all happened so fast, so I'll put in a picture of her with her cow. Wasn't able to get it on film because it happened so fast. They were moving pretty quick to get back into the dark timber to get away from the heat from today. Last night was another very, very bright moon. They called for about 93% last night brightness, so yeah, it's definitely jacked the animals around. And had a little buck today in our backyard. He's definitely got some growing left to do, but that's the first buck I've seen since the season started. I don't know where this big mammoth of a buck went. I haven't seen him in probably 2 weeks. Set up in another tree. Got my ideal lane right here, which is here or here. This is where the game trail comes down. So I'm hoping that that big buck will come right down through here, or right here. I'm about 20 feet up, first time I've climbed an aspen, so it didn't take nearly as long, but again, self-filming is difficult. Well, it may be short-lived. Just started hearing thunder. So, give it a minute and see what this storm does. Well, it looks like we dodged it because I've got blue skies over me. It's moving more to the north. It skirted around us. You can hear the thunder in the background. It's super. That evening, absolutely saw nothing. Just nothing. So I wake up the next morning. Wind was just absolutely insane. Wind sounded like it was going to rip the roof off the house. So I kind of thought that, yeah, this was not the day to try and fling an arrow, especially at the big buck, which my wife has conveniently named, and I know I'm going to get hate mail, Buckaroo. So Buckaroo kind of escaped that day. You know, it ended up being Monday, Labor Day. He escaped that day from me. So I ended up the night before Labor Day buying a turkey tag online for Mason, and we went and picked it up Monday afternoon and then started going out. Of course, I forget all the filming equipment because I'm just too dang excited knowing the fact that my dad, who also has a cow tag, was in the truck, and we were looking for a cow for him. We were looking for turkeys for Mason, and I had Meg with me. So 3 generations in the truck, and it was awesome. Our turkey hunting is way different than anybody else's turkey hunting. We don't go out in full camo and turkey call and sit there with a shotgun perfectly still for hours on end. We drive around until we see a flock. When we see a flock, we get out, we put a stalk on the flock, get about 25-30 yards away, and let them have it. Well, Monday evening was no different. Mason, within maybe an hour and a half of us cruising around the ranch trying to locate a flock of turkeys, fills it. So, you know, right down next to our horse pasture, which is where I'd been seeing the turkeys the night before when I was up in the tree, and the night before that. So pretty consistent where they were. Mason was able to close the deal, and I forgot the filming equipment. However, I did get a picture once we got back up to the house with his turkey, and of course the boy was just absolutely ecstatic. Tuesday morning, had to go back to work. Came out Tuesday evening. I was kind of home a little early enough to at least go out and drive around Glass a little bit and see what I could find. Really the only thing I could find was a little buck. It was crazy, but Wednesday couldn't close the deal. Wednesday I got home late from work, have to go in early in the mornings anyways. Thursday was no different. So Fridays are a little different for us as far as getting Mason to school. Mason went normally on the bus at about 7 in the morning. Well, because he's in Civil Air Patrol, Wednesday or Friday mornings are actually when they do their morning formation, and then so I have to get him to school at 7:20, so he can't ride the bus. So I loaded everything up in the truck, taking him to school, and I would check everything on my way back. Well, it's Friday of the second week. So season's been open for almost a week now. We'll see if we can kick anything up in this thick timber. I have reason to believe this might be the bedding area on that big buck. And it's been unbearably hot. It's 8 in the morning. I've been out for at least an hour now, and I'm already in a t-shirt. Not nearly as much sign as I expected to see. Our neighbors told me that they've been seeing this big buck come in here, and they thought he was bedding down, but I'm not seeing nearly the amount of sign that I would expect to see. I found a little bedding area, but I'm concerned that's the bedding area for those 4 does that I spotted. So, we'll see. Don't know. Don't know. But again, I'm only coming up on the 2nd weekend, so not the end of the world. Everything's worth a try. Check the timber. About 9 o'clock rolls around. I get back to the Ranger, start walking or driving back towards the house, and because it was so hot, I thought I'm done for the day. Well, I get fairly close to the house, and I get up on this ridge that I can actually see the horse pasture from the east side. At least this like open area that's about 200 yards wide by 200 yards deep. And I look and I see a gray deer-shaped body, and I thought, okay, glass it for a second, and it's a buck. As I'm coming over the ridge, coming into the horse pasture, I see this buck. So I knock an arrow and slowly start making my way over. Yes! Yes! I just made estimated 30-yard shot on probably the biggest buck I've ever shot in my life. I know he's right up here somewhere. I watched him go down, so we'll see. Beautiful. That is an incredible look. Absolutely. Unfortunately, by the time I got everything set up, because I was so excited and ready to do like my full interview with the buck, and I got the camera set up and I forgot to turn the mic on. So you'll see me walking up, and that's got full audio, but my interview with the buck was, just me talking, and then you can do voiceovers, and it's ridiculous, and I'm an idiot. But yeah, so I had Buckaroo in my hands, and that was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, Mason wasn't able to be with me or with Meg during this whole process. So got the buck loaded up, took him to Crippen's Processing, and then took the head down for a European mount to Elk Ridge Taxidermy. And first time I ever used the guy, but walking into his shop, I was absolutely impressed and amazed at the quality of work that he does. So thank you guys for coming along. It's been an exciting season. I filled it second weekend. Technically before the second weekend it would have been a Friday morning, blistering hot day, but my dad at the time of this recording has already filled his cow tag, so we're done, minus 2 more buck tags, one for second season rifle, and one for third season rifle, which is my brother-in-law and my dad. So hopefully I can maybe get those on film too.